Earning $150,000 a year used to represent the pinnacle of middle-class security. Today, for many high earners, that same number is accompanied by a persistent physical sensation of falling behind. Real estate prices have outpaced wage growth so aggressively, the traditional milestones of ownership are moving out of reach even for top earners. Basic household maintenance, groceries, healthcare, and education now commands a significantly larger share of a high earner's paycheck than it did 40 years ago. But mathematics only explains the pressure on the balance sheet. It fails to account for the widespread feeling of scarcity among those whose basic needs are objectively met. That specific anxiety suggests a psychological pathology. Humans evaluate wealth through relative comparison. Our sense of prosperity is dictated by how our lifestyle measures up against the people we see every day. A generation ago, this comparison was localized. Families measured success against immediate neighbors or coworkers. The peer group was small, and lifestyles were largely similar. The digital environment removed those physical boundaries. We now measure our daily lives against a curated, global stream of the world's top 1%. Shifting the peer group from the local neighborhood to the global internet ensures that expectations will always outrun income. It creates a permanent state of perceived lack. This gap triggers lifestyle inflation. As earnings rise, spending habits expand to fill the new capacity, often without any conscious decision to increase consumption. Yesterday's luxury milestones, like a new vehicle or a larger home, rapidly become the new invisible baseline. Once a luxury is normalized, it ceases to provide a sense of progress. Algorithmic feeds have transformed social observation into a continuous, data-driven comparative exercise. We are prompted to notice what we lack hundreds of times a day. Frictionless commerce then bridges the gap between seeing and wanting. Modern platforms are designed to move a user from initial desire to final purchase in a matter of seconds. Each purchase provides a brief neurological spark, but the satisfaction is fleeting, often replaced by a sense of emptiness before the delivery even arrives. The rapid normalization of these new standards keeps us unfulfilled. We are running faster just to maintain the same level of perceived satisfaction. This chart tracks the biological mechanism of hedonic adaptation. A significant raise or a new acquisition causes a sharp spike in reported happiness, followed by a rapid return to the original emotional baseline. The brain deliberately resets its equilibrium. As the feeling of reward fades, expectations adjust upward to meet the new reality, neutralizing the impact of the increased wealth. Across a decade-long career, doubling in income produces a series of these temporary spikes, yet the long-term baseline of satisfaction remains largely unchanged. Sustaining a sense of wealth requires a strategy to manage this biological reset. Without it, the brain will silently consume every increase in salary. This biological vulnerability is now being exploited by the attention economy. Digital platforms are engineered to harvest focus. By keeping a user engaged with a constant stream of high-status imagery, these systems trigger the comparative brain and keep it in a state of high alert. This creates a direct pipeline from captured attention to manufactured desire. The more time spent observing the curated lives of others, the higher the perceived cost of a normal life becomes. These are not personal failings or irrational choices. They are the predictable reactions of human biology, placed inside an environment designed to trigger them. The modern economy functions as an aspiration engine, relying on the fact that if satisfaction is always projected into the future, the present will never feel like enough. Imagine two people with identical salaries and identical net worths. One feels impoverished, the other feels abundant. The difference is found in their comparative framework. The first tracks their progress against an infinite, algorithmically generated peer group. Because that group is limitless, they are always at the bottom of the curve. The second chooses to track their status solely against their own past. They measure today's security against their own historical baseline, decoupling their satisfaction from the visibility of others. Financial security is a mathematical objective, but financial peace is a psychological boundary, one that must be actively defended against an economy that benefits from its absence. Decoupling from the comparative system is a slow, deliberate process of reclaiming focus. By recognizing these engineered traps, we gain the agency to set our own internal definitions of enough before the world provides one for us.